My main takeaway would just be the bullpen. I think they've been really, really impressive. Tyler Holton gave up his first earned run since being called up. Mason Englert, I saw your tweet on him, Raj. He was really, really good in game two through 2 2/3 scoreless innings. I believe struck out 4 batters. And he's been, as good as advertised. Very solid walk rate. 5.6 walk percentage is what I looked up earlier today. And yeah, even Will Vest, who got absolutely rocked in spring training, has yet to give up an earned run. Only 2 1/3 innings pitched, but he did have, I believe he struck out the side in the inning he pitched today. And then obviously Jason Foley, probably been one of the stories for the Tigers of the year. His fastball velocity looks really, really good. Got the 4-out save, I believe, in game two. And then Alex Lange, who hasn't been as good as he was last year, but has still been really, really solid. And the good part about that is guys like Mason Englert, guys like Jason Foley and Alex Lange, they're all under contract for many years to come and for pretty darn cheap too. So that would be my biggest takeaway. And then just for the Brewers, I don't know. They didn't really look like world beaters to me. They didn't really look like a team that's going to win their division and make a playoff run. I really wasn't all too impressed with them. Christian Yelich, this might be who he is now. I don't know what happened to that 2-year stretch where he was the best player in baseball and just absolutely carried the Brewers offense, but that's not really who he is anymore. And I like Rowdy Tellez, Willie Adames. They've got some decent hitters, got some young players coming up the system, but I wasn't all too impressed with them. And Freddie Peralta was impressive, though. So, yeah, good for the Tigers bullpen. And, yes, the offense still has its problems, but I'm sure you guys are going to get to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the bullpen is the big one, but since John already went over that, I'm going to say my takeaway is hooray for the law of averages. Sort of. It was part of the big problem of that losing streak was the Tigers were just absolutely brutal with runners in scoring position. Wasn't it something like 5 for 60? It was really, really bad. And it's not like they got crazy this week, but it just got kind of average. So I think they went 8 for 31, which is like a 260 average. But that's fine. If you do that, you're going to score some runs. They didn't score enough runs, but it was enough to win games with the way their pitching has been performing. So, yeah, I was excited about that.
I thought the more I watch this team, and I know this, others are saying this too, I just feel like more and more they're going to move to Jake Rogers catching even more than he is now. It just seems like I like what I feel, and I can't quantify it. He just seems like he's a calming presence out there behind the plate for them, and he's producing at the plate. So I'm hopeful that he keeps playing more and more. The Tigers are at 9-14 right now, so they're on a 63 win pace. A little behind what we had for them, at least I had for them to start the year. You can see they're going to be streaky when you're scoring runs like this. They're averaging 3.04 runs per game. It's really going to be hard to be steady. When they get the pitching, they're going to win. When they don't, they're not. And it was nice to go on the road against a plus 500 team like the Brewers and take a couple wins. It was a lot of fun. It was a great time to watch this week, and hopefully they can figure out a way to split or better with the O's coming up here.
There was 2 takeaways for me that were more specific, which is one is the use of the changeup by the Tigers. One of the things about the bullpen over the week was the fact that you saw that among Mason Englert and Alex Lange was usage of the changeup and how effective it was. And I'll go a little bit more into later in my inside numbers, but the reason why I bring that up is because Lange and both Lange and Englert are among the top 20 in vertical movement on their changeup versus the average. So breaks down a little bit more, but that's good for a team that really is trying to find the top of the strike zone. So what I thought they did a really good job. Both relievers did a fantastic job of changing eye level, setting up that high fastball to go within that changeup that had some really good break to it. So that was my big takeaway.